In what seemed to last 77 years, the Civil War has finally come to an end. Sherman had a great march through the South, and he even burned Atlanta on the way through.
Yes, he did.
The North also hit a stone wall when it came to Jackson and Lee. In an ironclad battle, the Monitor barely defeated the Merrimack. I am Scott McVan Pelt, along with Neil O. Everett, here on Civil War Center. Now, we've heard some rumors about a game called baseball coming in. Please expand on that, Neil.
A little crazy in my world, but who knows? They say the man who created baseball was named Abner Doubleday. Abner Doubleday was the man who creatively said, throw a baseball or a ball and somebody hits it with a wooden paddle.
Oh, I don't think there's anything in the making with this. Now, is it true that Abner Doubleday was a Civil War general?
He was a Civil War general right here. As a matter of fact, he was a Union general.
We'll leave you to think about that, and after the break, we'll talk about how Pickett charged through Gettysburg. Welcome back to Civil War Center. I recently had the chance to interview a very important Civil War general named Robert E. Lee. Now, let's take you to that previously recorded interview. We're here in Arlington, Virginia with General Robert E. Lee, who commanded the Southern forces in the Civil War. General Lee, thanks for shaving today.
The Southern Belles love it.
Now, could you tell me about why you decided to take the Southern forces rather than the Northern forces?
Yes, I can, actually. Well, the thing is, the North wanted me on their side. They asked me, and they wanted me on their side very badly. But Virginia, my home state, I would be fighting against them. So I knew I couldn't do that.
So this was pretty much a matter of your home state rather than fighting for the Confederacy?
Yes, they seceded from the North, so I fought for the Confederacy.
And what made you decide to do that?
Well, I just thought that I couldn't fight against my own state. If I fought against my own state, I'd be fighting against my friends and my family, pretty much. How about my sword?
General Lee, could you tell me about your sword?
Yes, I can, actually. My sword, all of the leaders really have one, but it's made up of just prime metal, pretty much, and usually, if we're out of ammo, we just go to our sword.
Have you had to use it?
Yes. I've used it on many cows. Just kidding, I've used it on many people.
Many people?
Yes, I have.
Very good, it's not just for show then.
No, it's not.
So, I've been reading into the Civil War, and I noticed most of your soldiers were veterans of wars and older gentlemen. Could you explain why you picked them over rookies and younger people?
It's elementary. If you think about it, prime soldiers that are just getting into it don't have a lot of experience in war. But veterans, they know what war is like, and they know what modern warfare is like.
So you're not worried about a slower speed of battle or longer marches or more people dying in those kind of events?
We will have great sacrifice if we want to win the war, but more experience will win the war.
Spoken like a true politician.
Thank you.
General Lee, how did you account for a lack of transportation among the South? As we know, the North had railroads and a lot of different ways to transport their troops.
For sure.
Now, you were actually able to take the lead for most of the war without that transportation. Could you explain that?
Yes, we were. Well, without transportation, it was very, very tough to get supplies and soldiers to where they needed to be. But even though that happened, we knew the land more because most of the battles were fought on Southern ground.
Look in there. Were any of your marches exceptionally long?
They were. They were very long, actually, especially the one to the north. Gettysburg was probably the longest march we had to take. I don't know how long it took, I didn't keep track, but it took a long time, and most of the men died of pretty much tiredness.
That has to be grueling.
Oh, it is.
The most famous battle of the war was definitely Gettysburg.
For sure.
With Pickett's charge and all that important stuff.
Yeah.
It was a tough defeat, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me what exactly happened and what was going through your mind during that battle?
I can, actually. It was just a very bad day. Our soldiers, we just weren't fighting to our fullest, and
I heard they were tired from
were.
previous battles and that long march that you mentioned earlier.
That long walk killed us, plus previous battles. You know, it's like now, you can't win all the battles.
But you definitely have to win the big one. Would you consider that as your great downfall of the war? Is that why that why the South ended up losing?
The North said that was a turning point of the war. That kind of got us scared. I'm not gonna lie.
I can understand that for sure. General Ulysses S. Grant is who you surrendered to at Appomattox Courthouse.
Yes, it is.
How did he handle that, and what was going through your mind in that situation?
Actually, he handled it very well in a very, very calm manner. As if you know Ulysses S. Grant like I do, you know he's a pretty, I don't know, uptight guy who loves to fight, who loves to drink also. So that day he was not drunk, and he was very calm with me and made a very reasonable.
So you guys are buddies now?
We are buddies.
Very good.
Yes. He said that if we combined all America, that we could fight anyone and win against anyone.
Thanks for your time, General Lee. Anything you'd like to say as we exit?
Hi to my mom and all my friends, and for the Confederacy. I will always be on your side.
We have breaking news on this Civil War Center. It appears we have a casualty in Gettysburg, but not your ordinary casualty. Let's go out into the field with Neil O. Everett. Neil, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Fred. How are you doing?
It looks like a pretty horrific scene there.
Oh, the scene is terrible. Oh,
What is her name?
Jenny Wade.
And what exactly happened?
Well, she was, by the looks of it, it looks like she was in the kitchen baking either muffins or cookies. I'm not sure.
It looks like a cookie from here.
Yes, Fred, it's a chocolate chip cookie.
Now, did she have any part in the war at all?
Jenny's a good cooker.
And we're back. Jenny played no part in the war, did she?
No, she did not. She was just an innocent woman baking wonderful cookies.
Thank you for your scintillating report.